Hare Krishna. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. We will continue our discussion on this topic of what Prabhupada is trying to make us understand from this. This is a very nice topic to meditate. Let's just try to understand the mighty strength of my Maya in the shape of woman, who, by the mere movement of her eyebrows, can keep even the greatest conqueror of the world under her grip. It is not just it's the energy that is emanated from that personality which attracts. That is how the arrangement is made. So shape of woman means it's an energy that is emanated because it is not going to attract a cow or a dog or a cat. It is attracting that human, but cow will be attracted to that species. So that energy is needed to increase the population. That's what actually four Kumaras they resisted. They said, no, we don't want to get entangled. When Brahmaji asked four Kumaras, can you produce living entities? Why living entities are needed in this material world? To help them enjoy. So there is a facility that is created for living entities to enjoy in this material world. Now, how the living entity should come into this material world? So there is an on its own. It's a complete system. Purnamada Purnamidam. It's a complete system in its own, where you don't need any uh, external agency to run it. So Lord created a system because Lord is Purna. It's always complete. So you don't need something external to run the system. Say I want to run my car or my bike. I need to put fuel. So there is an external agency that is needed. But this is self-fueled, self-propelled, and automatic system. It runs on its own. Because Parasha Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Lord does not have to much do it. It's all his energies they work. And this is a system Lord created to entangle the living entities here. Every species is programmed in such a way it will be attracted to that species only that we have discussed. And here, that's the energy that is emanating from that person which attracts us. We cannot blame anyone because that energy is coming. Say now, we are giving example of like a politician. Yes, such a big energy is able to influence lakhs of people, and everybody will vote for him. Everybody is attracted to him. We have the prime minister of our country or any prime minister, presidents of different countries, how they could amass so many people who are their followers because that is the energy that is provided by the Lord in them. That's why they are able to do it. Similarly, this energy of Maya, which is given in the form of, and that also for certain age, say from age of some age to some age. After that, that energy don't work on them. They are no more that much attractive after certain age. What happened? Because the energy is no more in that. So that is given for some time to attract a man so that then there is, again reproduction and the cycle continues like that. So big conquerors also, they also captivated because the captivating potency of women and man's attraction for that potency. This is the programming we discuss. It's not the fault of woman. It's the energy that is given to her. Now she has to utilize it, and some may misuse also. That happens, and there is a weakness for man. It's a weakness of man and strength of woman, but they can misuse also. And man, he can become a debauchee, and woman can she also become very free, which are not good for the society. And it is said the absolute truth, the captivating power of woman and man's susceptibility to such attraction must also exist in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is there originally with Krishna only. Krishna gets attracted to Radharani, but then it's nothing to do with material. And we hear that pastime, we will be free from this attraction in this material world. If you hear Raspanthyadhyay, after going through all these cantos of Bhagavatam, when we reach there, then our attraction to this material energy will slowly reduce. And then one who aspires to reach the culmination of yoga and has realized his self by rendering service unto me should never associate with an attractive woman, for such a woman is declared in the scriptures to be great way to hell for the advanced devotees. Now Kardamuni is also, and he got the most beautiful woman of the earth that time. Even Gandharvas and demigods, they aspired to have Devati as her wife, as their wife. But it didn't affect Kardamuni because his absorption is in Supreme Personality of God. That means what? If somebody is absorbed in Supreme Lord, then this Maya don't affect him. Mameva ye prapadyante Maya metam tarinte. Basically, the Maya is this Maya only. So you want to transcend Maya, then you have to surrender to Supreme Lord. That's what is the principle. So Kardamuni didn't get affected. He just left and went to, not that after marriage he was doing some honeymoon. He was doing meditation only. And after many years, he said, I want to go. Then Devati says, I think I should have some children. And of course, then she says, children. Then he gives children. And then he's not attached. Oh, my wife, my children, all small, small little girls, they're coming and saying, father, father. He's not so much allured by such attractions. Of course, he got them married and he said, fine with me, I'm going. And Devati said, I want a son. He said, okay, son, but he is not attached to this. That means what? It is not it's a weakness of man only. If he is focused, he is attached to something higher, then only he can overcome. So surrender to Krishna to overcome it. And the energy comes for it like that. And it's a warning to keep distance because our mind is not strong now. We definitely get allured by it. So instead of becoming affected, what we should do? We should start meditating on something higher. And we should never associate with attractive women because the energy is very high here. Very high energy. So the word attractive is actually energy high. Otherwise, there is no energy. And Prabhupada writes, the culmination of yoga and full Krishna consciousness, this is affirmed in Bhagavad Gita. A person who is always thinking of Krishna and devotion is the topmost of all yogis. And in the second chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also stated that when one becomes free from material contamination by rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can at that time understand the science of God. And here the word Pratilabdhatma Labha occurs. Atma means self and Labha means gain. Generally, conditioned souls have lost their Atma or self, but those who are transcendental have realized the self. It is directed that such a self realized soul who aspires to the topmost uh, platform of yogic perfection should not associate with young women. So very clear. So because the energy is very high here, should not associate with young women. In the modern age, however, there are so many rascals who recommend that while one has genitals, he should enjoy women as much as he likes. At the same time, he can become a yogi. In no standard yoga system in the association of women is accepted. This is not possible. One who want to progress very fast, he should keep minimal association, no association. And it helps them. See, what happens is there is an emotional need for man. That is the reason he want to be with women. He wants somebody to always appreciate him, praise him, or depend on him. So this is man's requirement. Like he has that Purusha Bhava. Purusha Bhava is when I have subjects, na. When I will be king if I have subjects. Otherwise, how can I be a king without any subjects? And I have that desire to identify myself as a man, then only you need a female. A brahmachari, he don't have this identity, or a sannyasi, he don't identify himself as a man. That's why they are able to overcome this tendency. If I identify myself as a man, then I need to prove that I am a man. Then I need somebody under me, some subjects I need to take care. Now, Like I am a man, then I need a woman because I will show my masculine nature to prove, and then you have somebody under you whom you are caring, giving some protection, or all these things. But a brahmacharya, he don't have this identity first, so that becomes very easy for him to overcome. You don't identify. At least you have to come to that standard. If you want to become a sannyasi, or you have to come to a standard where you don't identify. So, okay, let it be, no, whatever. I am not, I am just servant. So, in standard yoga system, is the association of women accept in no standard yoga system, the association of women is accepted because you have given up your Purusha Bhava. It is clearly stated here that the association of women is the gateway to hellish life. The association of women is very much restrained in Vedic civilization. Out of the four social divisions, Brahmachari, Vanapasa, Sannyas, three orders are strictly prohibited for the association of. Only the Grihasthas or householders are given license to have a intimate relationship with them, and their relationship is also restricted for begetting nice children. If, however, one wants to stick to continued existence in metal world, he may indulge in female association unrestrictedly. What is happening now? People don't restrain. That is the reason we were discussing yesterday why a person is attached to woman till the end of his life. Woman is attached to the man till the end of his life because this system is not followed. Previously, what happened? Another problem is because of nuclear families. Previously, there used to be joint families. Then, after some time, the woman has children, and the children are growing. Now, their heart is satisfied seeing their children growing and doing something. And when they get grandchildren, then they take care of grandchildren, they're completely satisfied. Then their attachment to all this bodily, the lower needs of sex and all, that will not be there anymore. So next life is peaceful. But now they don't have grandchildren. They cannot play with grandchildren. They don't know where they are also, whether they are also, it is very unclear. Then what happens? They are still attached to that pleasure which in the beginning of their youth they enjoyed. They want to maintain that pleasure. They apply cosmetics to look young. But after some time, they don't need all these things because they are satisfied at heart because they are seeing their grandchildren playing with them. They're satisfied. They want to be as a grandparent only. They don't want to be young because they don't have. Now, what is happening? They don't have grandchildren. They want to still remain young. And the attachment for a woman, for the man continues. And next life, she is born as a man, but the attachment continues. Heart is not satisfied. That is the risk here. Why we have such nice system? You should take care of your children, grandchildren, because the heart should be satisfied. Our desire for that lower pleasure will reduce. Will no more be there. They will not be any more interested. They are very happy seeing their grandchildren. And my sister's mother-in-law is there. She has great grandchildren also. she is now, her whole focus is how to get her grandchildren get married. Her target before she leaves her body. She got all her children married, and then she has grandchildren, and all the grandchildren are grown up. Now she's targeting her. Now her focus is something else only. Now there is no bodily needs now. Her need is, of course, that is not for not very special thing. It is common only. But point what I am telling is now she will just when she leaves her body, she's her focus is something else only. At least it is much better. No? They will go to heavenly planets or something like that. What I want to tell is the system which was created to satisfy the heart. That means reduce our lower desires. योपयातिर्सनेर्माया योषित्येव विनिर्मिता ताम ईक्षेतात्मनो मृत्युम तान्त्रैकूपम इवावृतम. The woman created by the Lord is a representation of Maya, and one who associates with such Maya By accepting service, must certainly know that this is the way of death, just like a blind well covered with grass. So what happens is it's a representation of Maya. Maya is energy. For us, Maya means we should know the technical understanding also. Maya means energy. How Maya comes to us, she comes in the form of energy. For every living entity, it's the energy that is manifested through that object, not object itself, but the energy the object carries. That is more important for us. And one who associates with such Maya by accepting services must certainly know that it is a pathway to death. Service means what? I want to be boss. I am the boss. That means the mentality of a lording mentality, right? That is the reason he is accepting service. Why he will accept service? I want to prove that I am the king, I am the boss. And then okay, you want boss, then you are subjects, and then you take service. But that will make us perpetually stay in this material world. Because as such, we are not the supreme lord. We are servants. No, but this activity is making us bond in this material world. That is the problem. It is nothing to do with women. It is nothing to do with what she is doing. It is the mentality of man that is criticized here. The mentality of man to enjoy in this material world as the Supreme Lord, imitation of the Supreme Lord, that is condemned. Sometimes it happens that a rejected well is covered by grass, and an unwanted traveler who does not know of the existence of well falls down and his death is assured. Similarly, association with women begins when one accepts service from her. So this is the, I told you, the Swami Bhav. So you want to feel that he is the boss. When he comes home, somebody's subjects are there to attend to him. And no, children are coming and asking for something and he is providing them. So he feels that, okay, at least I am no less. I am the Supreme Lord for this house. Because woman is especially created by Lord to give service. So woman has a desire to take care and desire to serve. She has this caring mentality, and man has this mentality to, no, I am the provider. By accepting her service, man is entrapped. If he is not intelligent enough to know that she is the gateway to hellish life, he may indulge in her association very liberally. This is restricted for those who aspire to ascend to the transcendental platform. When it is served that she is the gateway to hell, it is not her mistake. Please try to understand. I am trying to tell this 100 times. It is the weakness of man. It is not her mistake. We cannot, that energy is given to her and somebody is getting attracted. I told this. If somebody is scolding me, if I am getting affected, whose mistake? My mistake. Because I am weak, that's why I am getting affected by their scolding. It should not bother me, right? If you are weak, who is responsible for it? You be strong so that you don't get affected by anybody saying any words. This is restricted from for those who aspire to ascend to the transcendental platform. Even 50 years ago in Hindu society, such association was restricted. A wife could not see her husband during the daytime. Householders even had a different residential quarters. The internal quarters of the residence house were for the women and the external quarters for the men. Acceptance of service rendered by women may appear very pleasing, but one should be very cautious in accepting such service because it is clearly said that woman is great way to death or forgetfulness of oneself. She blocks the path of self realization because the person is continuing to feel that I am the Ishvara. That is the only reason. We cannot take service. Even we cannot take, what happens is there is a difference. Like we have some devotees under us in ashram. and some of the junior devotees serve the senior devotees. But there is a difference in that. It is not positive and negative energies. It is positive, positive. So it does not get attracted so much. And negative, negative, no problem. But positive, negative, there is an attraction. Of course, nowadays the calculations are different. It looks like negative and negative are getting attracted, but it is actually not negative and negative. It is the program itself is wrong in that. The software is distorted. Its body is positive, but the system inside is negative. That's where the attraction comes. So anyway, but the this is the main reason, the Purusha mentality. That is actually here. We have to give up the Purusha mentality. We, this is when you don't identify, I am a man, it is easy to continue in brahmachari and sannyasi ashram. Otherwise, it becomes difficult. I need to prove myself I am a man. यामयते पतिं मोहान् मामायां ऋषभायतीं स्त्रीत्वं श्रीसङ्गतो प्राप्तो गृहपदम्. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to women in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman. So this is the system. If a person is attached to woman in previous life, he gets the form of woman. Foolishly looking upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband, as the bestower of wealth, progeny, house, and other assets. So the woman, woman, you get the body of woman, and then she sees that my husband will take care of me, and he gives all these things. Actually, it is good for women to get attracted to men because in the next life she will get a man body. It is easy for self-relation. Not that woman's body is not, she cannot go back home back to God. She can definitely go back home back in this lifetime also. But there are advantages in man body because what happens is women, they have this psychophysical nature where for her to give up the attachment to children and house is very difficult compared to men. The system is like that, the programming is like that for them. So it is difficult for them to give up that attachment. For men it is very easy. So it is not the fault, it's the programming on like that. You got a machine which works with, like say you got a Mac laptop and you have a Windows laptop. So every programming is different. So you cannot say why Mac top like working like that, Windows is working like this. Yes, because the companies are different, the programming is different. You cannot try to the other laptops, Lenovo or Dell, will not work like Mac. You cannot say that we cannot perform activity with this. We can do it, but some things which we will not be able to do. There are advantages in Mac like that. For this verse, it appears that woman is also supposed to have been a man in his or her previous life. And due to his attachment to his wife, he now has become a woman. He has body of a woman. Bhagavad Gita confirms this. A man gets his next life birth according to what he thinks of at the time of death. If someone is too attached to his wife, naturally he thinks of his wife at the time of death. And in his next life, he takes the body of a woman. Similarly, if a woman thinks of her husband at the time of death, naturally she gets the body of a man in next life. But this is actually what happens. That's why they're told, okay, after certain age, leave home so that you don't be attached to any of the things. You can think of God. It is advantage for both. It is advantage for women also, men also. If man leaves home, then woman cannot think of her husband. Anyway, he is not there. Then she thinks about the Lord. And this fellow, he left home, he don't have any option. He will think of the Lord. So both are benefited. If both stay at home, it is risk for both of them in one way because each other, they'll think of each other at the time of death. That is the danger. So in the Hindu scriptures, therefore, woman's chastity and devotion to man is greatly emphasized. The woman's attachment for man to her husband may elevate her to the body of a man in next life, but man's attachment to woman will degrade him, and in next life he will get a body of woman. So it is not uh, according to scriptures. Mother is given 10 times more respect than father also. Now it is when it comes to respect, when it comes to other things, woman has so much respect. But when it comes to self-realization, advantages are more for man body. When it comes to care, protection, love, all these things, that is from woman. When a man, when he is born, for first 5 years, he gets so much love from the mother. Then he will grow. He will become a good person. Then he can go for self-realization also, like Dhruv Maharaj or any great personalities. The credit is for the mother. Yashoda, Krishna, or Pandavas with Kunti, or any great personalities, the credit is for mother. And why Duryodhana became what he became is because of Gandhari. When Duryodhana was in the womb of Gandhari, Kunti begot a son. Yudhishthir was born before. And then Gandhari became so upset because he will become the king. Previously, her husband was supposed to become the king because he is elder. But unfortunately, he was blind, so he could not get that opportunity. Then Pandu became the king. Then she thought if she get the first child, then he will become the king. And even that also she lost. Then immediately with great envy, she just hit her womb. And the fetus comes out. Vyasdev comes fortunately and begets all the children in the test tube, in the pots with ghee. Now, but what happened is the blow she gave to the womb got a psychological blow on Duryodhana. And because of which he became like that. He was so envious. He was always in a psychological problem. But that means what woman plays great role in creating, like we have Kardamuni here. Of course, the Supreme Lord, but in any case, woman is given that ability to create, make a man or a break a man. In that way, she has in this material world, she is the top. But if you want to get out of the world, then the body of man is more important. And advantage is if woman she is getting a good husband and good children, she can go back home back to her this lifetime. Like uh, here Devahuti, she is getting perfection, and Kunti is getting perfection, and we see that Suniti is getting perfections because the child is very elevated. He will take care. He can, give proper knowledge to the mother and send her home back to God. Of course, she need to develop that love, but it is easy for her if the child and husband are devotees. What I want to tell is that here there are advantages. Materially, you have very great opportunity, and somebody will have spiritual opportunity. And in terms of enjoyment, also women can enjoy more than men in the material world if she get nice facilities. She's more happy, satisfied, children and all compared to man. He has to work very hard and provide all the things. And women have all the facilities at home. She will just have to take care, and all the risk and headache is for the men only. So in that way, she is more comfortably situated compared to man. But when it comes to spirituality, then uh, yes, Gail Mataji.
Well, I had raised my hand for something else, but just now when you said that the woman is more comfortably situated materially, you know, there is this saying that, women's work is never done, men they work from 9 to 5, but women's work is never done, you know. So I know that.
It is relative how you look at it. What happens is, for a man, there is always a risk for the job, for the business. You have to deal with so many people outside and so many enemies, so many, like there are other things that he has to deal with. But say if he's a big businessman, rich businessman, Now he has to just he has to take so much risk to maintain his empire of business and all. But he at home, his wife has few servants who are doing everything, and she just have to be at home with the servants, take care of the servants.
Oh, okay. Well, see, here's the problem, because in my country we don't have this servant thing, and so
Yeah,
we have
without
we
earning me,
have
I have a maid in my. We have a maid. I don't. We don't make any earning, but still we can keep a maid in India. So we have some advantages.
Yeah, over here the woman does everything. You can feel like a single mother. The husband is at work, but the responsibilities of everything else falls on the shoulders of the wife. And that's even if we're what you call a stay-at-home mom, you know which I was, or am. The responsibilities are endless, actually. And so I kind of feel like, the austerities between men and women, you cannot kind of actually compare them, because it's like comparing apples and oranges. The natures of their austerities are so different, but there are, heavy austerities in both cases, both for men and for women. You just can't. But because the nature of those austerities are so different, I feel like you can't really compare. Whose is heavier, whose is lighter, like that.
That is true. Actually, what happened is now modern days, it even till Middle Ages in Europe, it was not the situation. After Industrial Revolution started, all these complications began. Previously, till Middle Ages, if you see Europe, it was all women are at home. Men used to go. They are the peasants or some businessmen or anything. They used to do their work, and women were at home only. Only after Industrial Revolution, these complications came where everybody has to work. Even women has to started going out for working. Otherwise,
Yes,
this
yeah,
is
but
the
I'm
present
trying to
modern
say,
problem.
even the woman is at home. The woman is not home sitting down with her feet up in the air on some ottoman. you know she's not just home relaxing. She has so much work to do at home. It's there. you know it's I whether it's as housework, managing the children, which is a full-time job, because that is not just taking care of their physical bodies. Is their holistic health is there, and it becomes very heavy and complicated, which is why when some men come home from their 9 to 5, the women just want to dump the kids on the man, because it's such a huge headache having to deal with just children alone. What to speak of taking care of household responsibilities on top of it? You know, a woman's work, is from the time she opens her eyes to the time she goes to bed, and who knows when she's going to get to bed. So even pre-industrial, women's duties were heavy and are heavy. So I'm just trying to make that clear, that just because women's duties are relegated to the house, it doesn't mean that she gets off scot free. It's quite the opposite.
What used to happen in Vedic culture is it was used to be a joint families. Like there used to be wife, husband, then they have four children, and the children are married. Then they have four daughter-in-laws, and then their children. It was like it used to be like a big family, and then the children is not the. It's a property of whole family. Everybody takes care. So everybody has their. Like I have one very nice friend's family here. They are five sons, and the mother and father, five sons, and all are married, and all the grandchildren, and they stay in a big house. So they have their duty. So morning, two daughter-in-laws do breakfast, two daughter-in-laws do lunch, and then one daughter-in-law gets the service of dinner. So they have responsibilities like that, and they have maids also. So now it's a joint family. All the children are their grandchildren. Of some grandchildren got married also now. So now, if that is how, then everybody is like in a joint family, a big gathering every time, and it's like it's a very the typical Vedic style. They are very nicely there, and their families also. The point is that time it's not a burden because everybody knows, okay, this is there, everybody should attend to it, and everybody should take. Now, what happens when it comes to nuclear families? Then you are alone. Then you have to take care of everything from the children's their education, their things. Then it becomes very complicated in the situation. And what you said is right because things are in a nuclear family, but when it was in a joint families like what the Vedic culture was, that time it was like not so much. And another thing is they want such type of arrangement for women. She needs children because she is caring for the children. When the child grows up, and then she want another child, she will take care of them. Another child. That time previously, my grandmother had 10 children. No, very happy because the elder children will take care of the younger ones, and she has a new child to take care. And then the system goes. 10 was a common number in at least some 70, 80 years back, just the time of independence in India. 10 children per woman is a common. Everybody has 10 children. And they are
Mm-hmm.
very happy to have children. The
Mm-hmm.
point is that, and then children grows, they become big. They'll come and take care of the family also. Grandmother, grandchildren, and everything is there. So these are some of the advantages in the Vedic culture where you
Mm-hmm.
have a big family, big land is there. They will go and cultivate. You get all the food crops, everything. India was very prosperous before Mughal invasions because the system was going in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly, slowly, the invaders came and then everything changed. But previously, it was different. And many of the things that are the principles that are given in the scriptures are we're addressing that type of audience also, or the Vedic culture. But now many of the things are not applicable in the sense our problems are different. And we say
Yeah.
Prabhupada gave Brahman Diksha to men, which is not there in the Vedic culture. When these God brothers and some Indian people they criticize Prabhupada, they told actually. So one disciple comes and tells to Prabhupada, your God brothers, they are criticizing that you are giving initiation to men. And Prabhupada said, actually, there are no women in the West. They don't know. They didn't go there. What Prabhupada meant is that mentality of what was there in the previous ages is no more because you are living in a different environment. You have a different situation, and you cannot like the chastity what is mentioned. We cannot expect now, and that is not fair also to expect that women should be chaste because men are not responsible. How can you expect that woman should be chaste? She will be exploited very badly. So the whole scenario is different now. So we have to take. I am just trying to give that principle that in general, see, I was giving this example also. Like if you go to any man who is unmarried in India, now at least, you see the house very simple. Very few things. But when he gets married, so many things come because women need them. If she feels very secure. She need children, she need things. Of course, nowadays women don't want children. That is a different question. But in general, that was actually the situation. They want nice property, nice children, and they are very happy with that. They want to care, and that caring will give happiness. Even though there is like, oh, I had to care of my children, so much headache, this, that. But she's very happy also. If you say, okay, now give up everything, we go to forest, she says, no, 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 I want my children only. Like, okay, you have 4 children and you are very unhappy, no? Okay, we'll give an option. You give your children and go and stay in the ashram. Will she do it? No. She says, no, I'm happy with my children only. And men will do it. That is the difference. They are more happy in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, as you said, I'm coming from the perspective of the nuclear family, you
Yeah.
know, and that's all I know. That's all I know, and it's like very heavy when the nuclear is all that you have to depend on. You know. So anyway, my original question, Prabhu, was um just slightly different. Was you were saying that the advantage of having a male body with the male programming is that there's, less material obstacle to your spiritual progress, you know. But then we also often hear about the advantage that women have, don't we? That, she tends to be more devotionally inclined. Like you will see more women in the churches, for example, than you will see men. So things along that line. So so it leaves me with the question: who really has the advantage?
Yeah, they have actually that is the advantage of women. They can surrender very fast if for an authority. That gives her very extra advantage to make progress in spiritual practices. And that's actually what is good for women. That she and when you give her authority, why she is called Dharma Patni in Vedic culture, woman is called Dharma Patni. She protects Dharma. What happens is, men, he takes initiative, he performs some the religious activities, and once she started doing some activity, then woman she follows him, and then if man want to come back, now women don't let him come. Once you give her some standard, any rituals or any tradition are all protected by women only. Men cannot protect the traditions. He will just get carried away. He will do something today, tomorrow something. But women, you give some standard, she sticks to it because she sticks to authority. And now you give her devotional standards and she will stick to the standards. In the house, all the standards are maintained by women only. If you give her standards, okay, wake up morning, Mangalarti should be there, Arati should be there, Tulsi Arati should be there. Once you start in the house, men may get carried away and you say, tomorrow, today I'll not do. But women will make sure, no, you have to do only. We already started Mangalarti, DT services or anything because she has that nature to follow and she will stick to the tradition. She protects the tradition. That's why she is Dharma Patni, and that is an advantage for women. So now you give her devotional standards. Okay, 16 rounds must be chanted. You have to follow this, you have to follow this. I'm talking about a typical Indian uh, cultural women. They have this very nice, and in any place, any traditions, if you see, that's what a church. Why women are going to church? Because they protect tradition. They only do. Like in Russia, also, when there was 70 years of communism, there were great grandmothers or grandmothers. They were whole society just you cannot take the name of God also, but still that time some women were going to church there also, and not men. Women were going because they protect tradition, so they have this advantage. That's why they are called dharma patnis, or protector of dharma. Yeah, that is there in their system because men don't have this. Woman is needed for him uh, to restrain him and protect him. He goes ahead, she will be from behind, but she will not let him come back. She'll make sure that he is maintaining the standards. Yeah, and same thing with devotional standards also. And all the kathas, Bhagavad Saptas, everything happen. 80% women will attend. Peacefully they will attend and they are very happy to attend it. Man, he will get, and because why man has, why he needs a woman is because of this one important quality which woman has. She is very balanced. Men are not balanced. They go for extremes. They are extreme emotional and extreme rational. That's why they are prone to get addicted so fast compared to women. Now it is getting common for everyone, but in general, men are more addicts than women. Why? They lose balance. Women will help them to be balanced. Now, what tradition you are giving, that matters. If you give them her devotional standards and devotional things, it is easy for her. She will follow the standards and she will protect the man, and for her also it is that advantage is there. She can think at a time with right and left brain. Man, it is not possible. He is the right or left, either emotional or rational.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised by this statement because so another thing that we usually hear that women are the emotional ones and men are the rational ones. But here you're saying that men can be, you know, extremely emotional.
Yeah,
So
that's what. No, see, like why he's getting addicted. If it is very clearly written, statutory warning, smoking injurious, he cannot use his rational brain only. He just carried away with the taste of that, and all these addictions is in an emotional where you don't use your intelligence, where you don't your rational thinking. That means what you are in an emotional state. We have two states, either emotional or rational.
now
Now,
why are women the ones who are usually called emotional?
oh, that emotion is different. That is like they are little they get affected by the situations very fast. That's why they're emotional. Like another thing is like they can use both the things together. That is another advantage. But emotional in the sense if things go down their way, they immediately cry and no, they they get affected by the things that are happening and they have this softness which makes them emotional. That
Uh-huh.
is that part is there, but there is another part I'm calling as emotional in the sense where you don't use your intelligence. Of course, this is a big topic. Not go more, but say I if I am knowing that this alcohol drinking will give me liver cirrhosis and I still drink it, I don't use my intelligence. That means what I'm interested in the taste of it. I'm just getting carried away by the emotion of the taste. But women don't get even she likes some item, she will not get addicted to it. She can rationalize and she can come out of it. Men cannot do it. In that way, I'm telling is an emotion.
Okay. But yeah, very. I needed that distinction there for this word emotion. Um,
Here, it's I am saying like what we are discussing. This is a rational discussion. Now there are some discussions where it's just emotions. I like to do this. I want to do this. This is like woman. No, she likes. She wants to do certain things. This is an emotional state where you are doing it as a sentiment. So that's why they're emotional. They're more sentimental. They're emotional. But when it comes to habits and all, there is something called rational and emotional also. If cigarette smoking is injurious, why this fellow is smoking? What do you call it? Is he rational or emotional in that situation? What do you say?
well, it's not rational.
That means he's emotional, right? You use either buddhi or manas. Buddhi means
But
rational,
here,
manas means
this here,
emotional.
yeah,
He's
but
going with the taste, right?
but here, this is it's a little blurry for me here because you were saying that like women, they can be sentimental in that they go with what they like, what they don't like. So
But like say they have this, but they have rational thing parallelly going on. They like that's why they're able to take care of children. When the small child is crying, man cannot understand it. The child is needing something, man can give, but he cannot be emotional with the child. Woman can think and be emotional simultaneously. That's why she can take care of children. Man cannot take care of children because she's emotional. She can take care. She understands. Okay, child needs some. Like say, if a man, if a woman tells to a man that I got a headache, man will take the medicine. But woman, first she'll say, "Oh, really? Where it is paining? How much it is paining? Or really paining?" And then she will give medicine also, but she can give some consoling words also, which man cannot do.
okay, so there's the
Man will
greater
only tell, take the medicine, get lost.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's greater capacity for empathy. You're saying, kind of.
That's an emotional part. She has that. That's why she can do it. No, she man will not understand. Like she want to explain and express, and no, she wanted to tell something. Say if your refrigerator is damaged, no, then the man comes home. Woman says if she just She says, no, what happened? I kept something in refrigerator. It was not getting cool. I switched it off and again it on. And then I thought maybe this problem is there. Then man say, okay, refrigerator spoiled, na? I'll get it repaired. So no. I went to the main switch. I tried to on and off it. And then I tried to open this. And man will say, okay, refrigerator spoiled, na? I get it repaired. She will say, no, not like that. What happened is, no, she want to be expressive and she want to explain. He want to tell everything. And man, then he's telling, this spoiled, na, I'll get it repaired. And she says, Arey, you don't listen to me, you don't understand me, I know you are this, you are that. And this poor fellow, he don't understand. I already understood now, Mrs. Wild, and why am I told I'll get it repaired. Why she is upset? She is not upset because she want to express in a more like she's very expressive, but man na is like rationalist. Ho gaya na ho gaya, but it won't work like that. So I'm I'm just giving some small example, but I'm
Yeah.
telling in general this is the scenario. Like she want to express, and man is rational in that way. So that's why they are told they are emotional. I'm not
And yeah, but this point of like addiction, right, where you're calling is not rational, but are you really saying that men are more susceptible to things like addiction than women? Don't we see it both in both cases?
very less compared. Now it is becoming more because the system is getting spoiled, but in general it was not like that.
Mm.
In previously, it is now they are trying to be equal, but women can easily give up compared to men. They don't get so easily. If you see the addicts number of percentage, you see men will be more. In India, it's all men only. Very few women. Now they are coming up. They are trying to catch up, but 90% are men only in India.
But what would be the reason for why for why women are increasing? What would be the reason for that?
Oh, now that's the problem. The problem is the system is previously the software was very properly working. Men software, women software. Now what is
Oh,
happening now? Your programs are distorted. You are born as a combination of everything. You are not
okay.
born properly. That's why the all these what you guys BT whatever coming is all because the programs are getting spoiled in people.
Okay, I'm sorry, Prabhu, but just one last thing. When you're saying that uh, the women, they have, they tend to be more surrendered to authority,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so that made me wonder about our concept of authority. You know, like for example, how we even determine how women even determine who is my authority, you know, because that's that I feel like that's a big element of
Previously, it was easy. Previously, husband was authority because he is very responsible. He followed dharma. She just have to follow him. Nowadays, what is happening is there is nobody follows dharma, so it becomes difficult. So, spiritual master is an authority. If husband is accepting spiritual master, she also takes a spiritual master and authority. So she needs some authority. Otherwise, now what happens? The TV is authority. So, so many men they watch something in TV and they want to follow whatever is told there. Some recipes, some yogis, some babas, or something. You always need somebody. Women need some authority. She will follow either TV or husband or guru or some in office and everywhere. Somebody is there for her. She want to accept them and follow and men needs but men is on his own also many times but woman she feels nice if somebody is caring for her she knows okay he is the person he is right I just have to follow him for her she feels very secure in that way.
yeah, yeah. um and men, they you're saying that they have a lesser need for an authority figure in their life. They don't feel it so much.
They don't they for them comparatively very less like say a guru told okay do this and no, and then rest of his life is okay. You don't need to go and meet Guru and see whether he is doing the same thing. Uh, it's not so much needed for him to somebody is watching behind from your shoulders, looking down and looking at you where I am doing. That type of need is not there for the man. This is okay. This is the standard. I'll do it. Finish. For men, sir, for women, she always needs somebody. Uh, whom she can look around, and all the time she needs that, she feels secure in that way, that there is somebody observing me and taking care of me. For man, he don't have that need.
Women want to feel like someone is um uh
Above
approve
them,
approving of their
approving and caring for them, or above them, or whom she can fully depend upon. That
uh-huh.
nature is so much for
Like rely on for
yeah,
guidance.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I know that if I follow this person, I'm
yeah.
okay. But men, they don't have that
Not
so
so much, they will create their own things.
much. Okay, Prabhu. I know I'm aware I've taken up so much time, but I had to ask these things. I had to ask. I'm sorry.
Actually, I
Thank
am
you.
also not so expert, but whatever little bit knowledge I am trying to
Oh,
share.
no, no. Very is always very, very good for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much.